Hey, what's going on everyone? Matthew from therighttrader.com back again with another video. Today we're going to be talking about Zoom stock, and I'm going to be doing a price analysis and price prediction for ZM stock. Now, of course, it's a stock that had a lot of success recently, and before I get into a couple details, make sure to leave this video a like. It really helps support the channel, and also make sure to subscribe and turn on those bell notifications if you haven't already. So currently, Zoom stock is right around $150, which is a typical support level because it's one of those big round numbers, and its market cap is at $41.8 billion. Now, this is one thing that I think is a little bit maybe overpriced and high currently because it's still is obviously pretty close to its all-time high, right? Its all-time high was $164. So even though it may be a little bit high right now, it will probably pull back a bit, but it could also continue uptrending. So we're going to talk about that in more detail when we look at the detailed chart here in just a second. But I did want to point out that you do have to keep in mind a $41 billion market cap is pretty high, right? So that is something that concerns me a little bit, but that I think it can pretty easily grow into. I think that it's going to be a successful stock in the future. I don't have any doubts about that. However, I do think that it could pull back in the next couple of weeks and potentially maybe next month or two. Now it has a lot more exposure because of what happened and a lot more people use it, but you have to keep in mind that it's going to take some time for it to maybe grow into this higher price range because it obviously benefited from a pretty quick spike. Right now, I also wanted to point out that Zoom stock only started trading about a year ago, and it's had a successful run now. Of course, pushed new all-time highs above $150 like we just saw. But I've already mapped out a couple support and resistance levels, so we're going to go ahead and talk about those here before I get into some more details. Now, the next resistance level that we have is really at $153.88. That is sort of the next level we need to break above to then kind of reach back to the all-time highs. I didn't bother drawing an actual support line at the all-time highs because it's not that relevant. If we're able to get back above $153, $155, we are most likely going to test our all-time highs again. However, as of right now, we do have a little bit of a double top going on there at the all-time highs. Not necessarily a bad thing because we have this uptrend line, as you can see here, and that's something that I'm going to talk about more in a second. But this uptrend line could really help carry us higher here, despite a bit of resistance ahead and the fact that we already put in an all-time high. This is a similar pattern to what we had on the Amazon chart, where what could end up happening, just to give you a brief explanation, is we could pull back a bit and then bounce off this uptrend line and just kind of bounce up and down on this uptrend line as we move into this wedge formation, right, between this triangle of the horizontal line and the pink uptrend line. And then what's typically going to happen is we're going to end up getting up our breakout and move back to new all-time highs. So that is absolutely a possibility and something that I did want to point out. Now, let's also talk about some support levels here that we can see, and I'm just going to finish up maybe completing the chart because we do also have a bit of a symmetrical triangle. That's something that you'll actually see a bit better on the RSI. So it does seem like we have somewhat of a symmetrical triangle formation going on here, and that's not a bad thing, right? That is a pretty good consolidation pattern. Can actually allow you to get some shares at some cheaper prices while the price is stabilizing. So it can actually be a good thing. And you can see it here, right? Typically on the other side, what happens, you get that up and down price action, and then you're eventually going to break either to the upside or downside. And same thing on the price. So exact same thing. We could very well end up moving below $130 all of a sudden. And at that point, right, if we were to move to the downside, lose the uptrend line support, move below $130, that's when I wouldn't be worried. To be honest, I would not be worried on a stock like this, but we would probably get a little bit bigger of a pullback, which I still think would be actually kind of a good thing, right? That would really allow for the possibility to get in at a much cheaper, reasonable valuation, and then, to be able to get the growth afterwards as the stock would recover. So that's something that I would actually prefer if I were to invest in Zoom, which I don't currently own any Zoom stock. I would possibly consider it at some lower prices, around $100, because I do think that if we move below $130, right, we have a little bit of resistance at $107, but then our bigger resistance level, which we haven't ever come back and tested, is actually at $93. So that is truly a possibility that we end up getting some sort of dip below $100 very short. I think it would be very short, and we would probably just quickly bounce off that $93 support level just to once and for all close that breakout area and then quickly get back above $100. So that is a possibility if we lose the uptrend line support. If we don't lose the uptrend line support, we're going to keep moving higher, right? Like I said, we're just going to bounce up and down, move higher along this wedge, and then eventually get our breakout above $153. As far as the MACD is concerned, we are looking pretty good. Looks like we do have a small signal of a potential pullback happening. We just turned red on the histogram, as you can see over here. And as far as the RS is concerned, we're just starting to, the MACD, we're just starting to move below the orange line, which tends to be a sign of a pullback, actually. So right now, we are probably going to be heading lower on Zoom stock as people are moving their money maybe back into stocks that have been hit really hard. Obviously, Zoom hasn't been really hard throughout the last couple weeks at all, right? In the last month or two, it's actually increased dramatically. So that is why Nick said it's just really a matter of looking in on that uptrend line, seeing if we're going to get that bounce or if we're going to move below that $130 mark. Is there room for some extended consolidation between $130 and $153? It is possible, definitely. But I'd say at this point, it's more likely that we get a pretty typical either break lower or break higher on the symmetrical triangle formation, right? And we have maybe a little bit more chance of even going higher just because we have this upward wedge as well that I talked about with the horizontal line and the uptrend line as well. With that being said, this is the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Make sure to give this video a like and subscribe for more. Also, let me know any stocks you want me to cover. Make sure to also follow me on my Twitter. I am very active on there, posting a lot of things. And make sure to check out my technical analysis master course. This is going to be one of the last days where I have my discount code still going. You can find it on Twitter. It's discount code TwitterFam. Get the course for 25% off. It comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you can try it risk-free. And link to the course in the description of this video. Thank you so much for watching, everyone, and have a great day. See you next time. Stay safe.